This is part of living in the countryside, I guess. Oh, that's a real shame. I'm giving it another go, and that's mostly because later on I want to go up onto Exmoor and I want to photograph the Exmoor ponies. I've got a plan for some images and I thought it'd be really cool to bring you guys with me. Good afternoon and welcome back to another video. Now today I've come up to Exmoor National Park. In fact, I arrived earlier this morning where I was filming and photographing dippers, but this afternoon I've come back up onto the moors where I'm hoping to photograph some Exmoor ponies. Now, I absolutely love photographing these ponies. I think they make for really good subjects to try and get a bit creative with. So I've been keeping my eye on the weather and I'm hoping that today I'll be able to photograph them in some backlight. It's about an hour and 10-minute drive for me. Every chance I've had to come up here, the weather's been pretty pants. But today the forecast looks good. So I'm hoping if we find some ponies that I'll be able to photograph them in some backlight. I typically photograph the same herd of ponies when I'm up here, I think. And I think that's the anchor herd, I believe. But I still can't guarantee where they're going to be. So it does require quite a bit of walking around, which I'm up for. It's now just coming up to 2:45. Sunset's about 5 o'clock, something like that, maybe a bit before that, maybe like 4:45. So I've got a couple of hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in the back, get all my stuff ready, and then just head off trekking across the moor to see if we can find some ponies. I think I found a herd of ponies, in fact, but I can see at least two just behind me, just over there, which is awesome because we've still got about an hour and 15 minutes before sunset. The only thing that's on my mind is this thick band of cloud that wasn't forecast, but when you live in the southwest, you kind of get used to not really paying much attention to the forecast. You kind of use them as a guideline, but so often it changes. So it's dry, it's quite mild, it's just nice to be out. So I'm going to make my way over towards the ponies. I want to be on the other side of them just in case we do get some nice light, because as I say, I want to try and photograph them backlit. Yeah, I can see 5 of them, which is awesome. So what I'm going to do is make my way over to the other side of them, sit down, have my flask of tea, just chill out really, see kind of what happens with the light. If the light doesn't lend itself to get creative, then we'll just go for some nice portrait images. It's just really nice to still be out. It's nice to be out for a whole day like this, just doing wildlife photography. Okay, cool. Let me show you some ponies. It's just so nice to be back up here on the moor. It's even better that I found some ponies, but the views up here are just incredible. This is exactly why I love Exmoor and Dartmoor, and I'm quite lucky because I live almost in the middle of the two of them. But I would say Exmoor I tend to do a lot more photography, especially with the ponies. But in fact, this exact location, almost where I'm sat now, I was photographing a barn owl last winter, which was incredible. Just walking around today, there's like little owl pellets everywhere. So you never know, we might even see an owl later. But for now, I thought I'd just sit down, let the ponies get used to me. It's kind of good that I'm talking. They don't seem fazed at all. I don't want them to be. I don't want any wildlife to be. So I'm just going to sit here, have a tea that I made before I left this morning that's probably gone cold. And I thought I'd talk you through what the plan is. Surprisingly not too cold. Thanks very much to my sister and her husband then for this Christmas present, because that's impressive. I must have made this at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock this morning. It's now just coming up to 4 o'clock. So yeah, in the afternoon, so brilliant. But as I said, I just thought I'd talk you through what the plan is. The ponies have now just started moving away from me, which is, it's nothing to do with me. It's just they've got their own little mission. They're just grazing. But the plan is obviously, I've mentioned, to try and photograph them backlit. The conditions don't look great. It's a beautiful evening. There's really nice like formations in the sky, like cloud formations, but I don't think it's going to lend itself very well for backlit. You kind of want to make sure you're getting that nice bright light coming through. So I think I'm going to have to change to plan B, which is probably just try and get some environmental and some portrait images of them. So I'm going to shoot with 2 lenses this evening. I've got my big 500 prime lens, and I've also got a 24 to 105. Hang on, they've just started running off because someone's up on the moor with, they've got about 40 hounds, and they're just running around. So the ponies have now just run off, which is a pity. Okay, I've got about 40 hounds running towards me and a guy with a horn. So I'm going to get up and keep an eye on the ponies because they can just disappear up here. I'm going to have to go find them again. That's a shame. I guess the moor is here for everyone to enjoy. So that's fine. It's a pity the ponies are being chased by about 40 hounds, maybe more, but this is part of living in the countryside, I guess. Oh, that's a real shame. I don't know if you can pick them up on the mic, all the dogs and the guy shouting at them. He's not shouting at them to get away from the ponies. He's just giving them commands. Okay, I'm gonna have to get up, otherwise I'm gonna end up getting bowled over by a load of dogs. Hopefully that hasn't spooked the ponies too much and we can still get some images this evening. That's a bit frustrating, but you know, as I mentioned before, the moor's here for everyone. Who am I to say that photographing ponies is more important than whatever they're doing? So you just have to roll with it. I can see the ponies in the distance, so it's fine. I'm just going to try and catch up with them again, sit back down and just let them get used to me. I feel like they're going to be a bit more spooky now. These are wild ponies, you know, they're a managed herd, but they're out here all year round. I've been photographing these ponies for some time now. Me and my friend Will, in fact, he's got a house just down the hill from here, and we photograph them all the time. He's an incredible Exmoor pony photographer. He's put so much time into it. I'll put a couple of his images up on the screen now. But I'm kind of always like learning from him and looking at what he's kind of got in his portfolio and how he's achieved them. It's not easy. Although they're here, it's a bit like the deer in Richmond Park. It's sometimes you go there and your subject's there and you've got your gear with you and you just feel a bit, not uninspired, but it's quite hard to get something different, especially in like flat light like this. So I'm kind of looking at the ponies now in front of me, thinking, how can I achieve an image that I'm going to be happy with today? If I just get one image, that's enough. So I don't know what the answer to that is. I don't think we're going to get much in the way of light. They have got some nice hills behind them, but again, there's loads of like bushes and bits of bracken. Tell you what, I'll stop being negative and I'll get myself in position and we'll just see what happens, because that's essentially all you can do. So I'm just going to chill out by this fallen tree just here. Well, part of it's fallen. Just going to watch the ponies and see if we can come up with an image. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm just trying to move around, just like you would if you were doing like landscape photography or something, just like moving around trying to find a composition. Whilst they are wild, I'm keeping my distance, doing everything slowly, that they are watching me. But there's no point in me just sitting somewhere because I'm there if I'm not going to get a good image. See, already by being in this position, we're starting to get slightly nicer background. I think if I move all the way around here, it's going to be nicer again. How's that? See, that one looks, that tree doesn't look too bad. I might try and get a shot of that now. Let's have a look. So I'm using my 24 to 105mm lens, and I'm essentially just trying to get more of an environmental image. It's tricky, but it's fun. Having to move around a bit. So I've got a pony now. It's just coming into frame. Well, that was really enjoyable. I think I managed a couple of images that I'm happy with. I'm not going to know until I get back and look at them on the computer. I'm kind of thinking, oh, it's the best way to walk. I'm kind of thinking that I'll convert them to black and white, but we'll see. There was a little sequence there where I was getting nice and low and I was trying to silhouette the ponies because there was quite nice cloud formations, so that might come off, but if not, it's been a good day. Had the dippers this morning, ponies this evening. Now all we need is the bar now. So sun's just gone down. I've got about a 15-minute walk back to the van, so who knows? What I'll do is I'll pop a couple of images up at the end. I know you've seen a couple already, but I'd like to bring you back. I'd like to bring you back here when we get a nice, really nice burning sunset, so we can just play with some like rim light and some really, really nice backlighting, because the ponies lend themselves really, really well for that. And so does this location. We just need that forecast. We need that really, really nice light for it to work. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Please give the, nope, crows, thinking it's a bar now. If I see the bar now, I'll talk to you again. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here.